I'd be tempted to smirk back and send him on his way with a yellow card, but you can't make the rules up as you go along, and the facts are these. Although the banner came from the crowd, the player has ostentatiously displayed it to everyone, and the message it contains clearly fits the definition of offensive, insulting or abusive language. It might make you look a bit humorless, but you're there to do a job. So send him off and report the facts after the game.
Welcome back to the Ref Show. We are mercifully talking about football in this section. Some good football as well, and I think it's fair to say David Hirst and Keith Hackett, some pretty good refereeing too.
Yeah, I've been pretty pleased with the refereeing. I think the area of doubt is the goalkeeping, isn't it? We've seen that many goalkeeping errors, which we don't often see in a tournament at this level.
You'd be delighted to be playing, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, the refereeing scenario. I mean, we've not mentioned anything about referees. You know,
No.
Since the tournament started, there's no, oh, he did this, that mistake. That it's not cost any games. You know, if there has been minor mistakes, if you like, you know, the German free kick. Yeah. Okay. In the end, it doesn't have a massive outcome, but that's pretty much it. You know, I think they've run it very well, to be honest. You know, they've let game flow. And it's always difficult when you international football. We know that players like to get to ground as quick as possible.
Taking David's point there, Keith, he's right that okay, Wales were denied a penalty, the Skirtle foul, but they went on to beat Slovakia 2-1. Didn't affect the result, and Germany won 2-0 against Ukraine. But was Martin Atkinson relieved, do you think, with that, when that second German goal went in, because it spared him any?
I'm sure he was. I mean, it shows, doesn't it, that when you're operating at the elite level, how important it is to get the big decisions right. But even the small ones can really penalise you. You know, on the first look at that, you think that's a foul.
Yeah.
You know, in truth, real time, that's a foul. He's come in, he's managed it effectively, goal. You then start the process of replaying it, and you see that it's not a foul.
Unpicking it all, yeah.
And therefore, the referee suddenly comes under pressure because a goal has resulted from what is an incorrect decision.
So you've got some sympathy with Martin Atkinson there, because
I think
that was your view.
Look, it's the modern game, isn't it? It's the number of television cameras that are these tournaments, like the Premier League, we're often criticising. In truth, however, we're looking at the world's best referees, allegedly. And therefore, our expectation is they're going to deliver. I mean, if we analyse the performances so far, you've had a fairly, you know, in refereeing terms, a fairly lax, laid-back style, which is to some degree orchestrated by Kalina. He wants the games to flow, he wants people to enjoy the match, and the referee not to be the focus of attention. Ideally, that's what we all want. However, there are some challenges that have gone unpunished, only with a free kick, that are, in fact, under law, reckless challenges that should be penalised. So my view is, look, I'm nitpicking to some degree, I suppose, but my worry is that when you get into a tournament phase, these tournaments tend to start in this way. You know, in '88, I got Germany, Italy, and it was keep your hand in the pocket, don't produce the cards. As a result, then later in the game, I'm trying to hold it and control it. Because normally the opposite of that is the referee gets his control and then begins to allow the freedom.
I think just on that, we've got a situation, as Keith Riley says, you've got the best referees out there. Yeah? They're refereeing the best players in Europe. Mistakes are going to be made by all of them, and games are going to be won and lost by that. You know, that's the human nature of the game for me. You know, Martin's little slip, free kick becomes a goal. We say it doesn't affect the outcome, 2-0. At 1-0, we have a chance of getting back in, the opposition are thinking. At 2-0, okay, it's probably got... But if we don't get the 1-0, we're still in the game.
Taking Keith's point...
But it's still... Players make mistakes and concede goals. Guaranteed. That's how you score.
The other one, Alan, is in the Wales game, of course, Skirtle came across. And whilst the expectation is you would expect the referee to see that, in truth, I can't understand why the guy with the stick behind the goal or the assistant didn't see it. And of course, where the processes are here is the man that stood behind the goal as the additional assistant is almost like managing the penalty area and what takes place inside it, and with the referees liaising. And this sets the assistant 2 or 3 steps back, and therefore the assistant's probably got the best view in that situation, does nothing. The guy behind the goal post does nothing. Exposed decision.
What's he there for, David?
Well, I was just thinking, as Keith was talking, I was thinking of something to say there, and I think the words "too many cooks spoil the broth."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, because I don't understand what they're doing on them behind the goals.
Well said. But taking the point about the cookery skills, if you like, of cooking up a good tournament, a tasty tournament, where Kalinia has been excellent so far. He's let free rein to the football. But he's a shrewd man. So is he not going to communicate a message after the group stages that, hey, look, we've let you play, but don't, take it too far? No. Is he going to rein in the referees at that point?
Phase two. Yeah.
Look, these referees are coming into their refereeing camp. The games are discussed, talked with the referees to get consistency and uniformity out of them. Yeah, when we get to the next stage of the tournament, the big hitter referees, if you like, those that have performed well in the first rounds will get the bigger games, and as a result, the expectation is a whisper in that ear will say, this is what my expectation is. And therefore, there's likely to be that clampdown. The other side of it, of course, is at one stage in the tournament, when we get to the next stage, the yellow cards that have been given are wiped clean. So that's another area where, they can brandish cards if they want, because down the line, it'll not affect. We all applaud leniency and say it's great for the spectacle, but players are human; they will take advantage.
Of course, but again, on that, you've got a situation. If we're refereeing this way, whether it's at the start of the tournament or the actual final, that's the same way that should be refereed there. There's no difference of rules, no rule changes. No. Just because it's getting nearer to the end product, if you like. But we've got to keep that going, and I don't think it's been a problem.
No, it hasn't been a problem.
I don't think there's been any cards been thrown at people that shouldn't have had the cards.
Keith's suggesting that technically they're not refereeing by the book because they're not awarding yellow cards when yellow cards should be.
I think there's a freedom.
We're all saying great, but where's the line?
The squeeze will come. But I think there are also areas. Look, pre-tournament, you've got the international players who want to play for the team. It's a big squad. They want to play for the team. They're going to do exactly what their bosses tell them. And as a result, we're at the early stages. We're not into who's relegated, who's going to go on. It's all of it. This is the tournament and how it builds and how the pressures come. I mean, look at the moment. Where's that holding? Where's grappling?
Yeah,
brilliant.
Non-existent. Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Against that,
nothing to talk about, folks.
No, against that, you've got. I can't understand when a player gets fouled why he has to exaggerate that foul. That's my worry. The worry sometimes is, look, you've no need to make that fall as though you're damaged and injured.
Yeah. But we've seen too much of that, and we knew Mark Lawrenson was here last week warning that we were going to see a lot of that.
And he's right, isn't he?
I think it's something that's in the game, in the European game, in the world game, to be fair. Yeah. I think it's great that Keith says, that the grappling in the boxes has been very minimal, if any. So the point is getting across in that respect, because they've probably been told per team, any of that, you're going to be giving penalties away.
Sets a standard for the Premier League next season. But England-Russia on the field, Nicola Rizzoli refereeing well, so we say congratulations. Well, the expected level has been achieved. Victor Kasai in the opening game, I know you made positive comments about him. The France 2, Romania 1. Martin Atkinson as well, apart from just that one question mark.
I thought Martin hasn't refereed since April because he sustained an injury at the UEFA training camp, and therefore this was his first run out. And Glenn Turner in his excellent ref cam. It was excellent. Highlighted the fact, just a minute, he's getting a bit pacey here. The game's going away, not in control terms, but in distance. And he was clearly fatiguing. And therefore the mental bit you can deal with, the physical bit in a game environment where a lot of the energy can be lost in a big game environment before you even step onto the field. You know, these are massive games. There's a lot of like countdown clock, when he can kick off, all those sort of things that he has to take into account.
The pressure's immense on the referees.
Yeah. Oh.
And like you say, what a great game he had. The minor error is what football's about.
It's forgivable.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. David Hirst, Keith Hackett, thanks very much indeed. Thank you for your company. Some of the games in the tournament will have taken place by the time some of you actually watched this show. This was a general conversation. We'll have another one this time next week on The Ref Show. Hope you can join us for that. Meantime, enjoy the football. Let's hope we can enjoy the football. See you later.